Le ponemos suspenso a la definición del apasionante maratón, porque en este momento conocemos las mejores hazañas de una auténtica leyenda del mediofondo, como Steve Cram.
Well, our sport is inevitably always tied up with tradition and what's gone before. You know, you're part of a story, if you like, particularly in whatever event you're in, and any athlete has probably studied their event and looked at the great champions of the past, and even when you were young, you'd be looking at, I'm running this time now, and back in 1924 I could have won the Olympic gold medal, and and I think, well, certainly if they're like me, you get very aware of the history of what you're involved in. So when you get the chance to come and compete on that stage and to win medals and to hold records, etc., you do feel a part of what's gone before, and that you're kind of continuing the story, and people are going to follow you on, obviously, inevitably. And for me, when I broke the world mile record, that was such an important part of my career that I had this growing up with from Roger Bannister, and even before, but the 4-minute mile and everything that went with that, and met a lot of the people who'd held the world mile record, and some of them are real heroes and people I've watched on television. Then you get to race against them, and then eventually you get to join this sort of exclusive club, and it's something I'm still very proud of. Well, our sport is about it's very objective: first, second, third. How fast did you run? How high did you jump? How far did you throw? But underneath that, I think the thing that really grabs people's attention is the direct conflict. It's an individual sport, and it's that guy versus that guy, and it's who's going to win, who's going to come out on top. So all of that, the times and everything else that you've done, when you come and line up in an Olympic Games or even in a big meet in Europe, then you've got to look at the man you're going to compete against in the face, and when you get these great matchups, Kono vet being typical, the whole world kind of ends up getting engrossed in the whole thing. I remember there was a couple of things. One was, I remember when Michael Johnson actually ran the 200 metres in Atlanta, and I'd seen plenty of world records before, and he didn't break any particular barrier, but it was the Olympic Games, at that time anyway, the time that he ran just seemed unbelievable. And that stuck with me for such a long time. I'm not sure anything. It was one of my first games as a commentator. I was sitting in the commentary box, and because when you're an athlete, things kind of pass you by a little bit. You're still concentrating on your own event, and actually, it's quite hard to be impressed. You're trying to break world records yourself, and somebody walks in and says, "Oh, did you see? Sergei Bubka just got another pole vault world record." You go, "All right, really? What did he do this time?" And of course, then you can finish it, and then you're sitting there in the commentary box, and you're looking at it through different eyes. And so I think Michael Johnson's 19.32 was something which, at the time anyway, certainly made me sit up. And I walked out of the stadium thinking, I'm glad I was there to see that. Little did I know, of course, that a few years later, Usain Bolt would make me feel the same way.